What's going on, YouTube? Just want to make a quick video of my FPV ground station that I made out of a toolbox from Home Depot. As you can see, it's the 16-inch toolbox from Home Depot with the closable latch. I think it was about $6. Actually, I added everything up, and including the battery, which is in the bottom of this, it was about $115 approximately to make this entire setup. Alright, minus the receiver. That was purchased from Hobby King, along with the quantum goggles for $100. So basically what I have inside here is a 7-inch color monitor, which I got off Amazon. That was around 25 bucks. And then I bought a 2x4 sheet of medium density particle board here. There's a little piece of plastic in there. And what I did was I basically just took a cardboard template, cut out a piece of cardboard to match the inside, approximately the size. Then I cut out the medium density fiber board and, had to kind of trim it and sand it. And what I did over here, if you notice, I notched it, set on each of the parts where the normal tray would sit for the toolbox. This tray comes with this toolbox comes with a removable tray, which obviously I'm not using. I notched it so that basically on all the little notches there's tabs, so the particle board doesn't fall further in. And that's obviously a hole for my circular polarized antenna, and it doubles up as a pull hole as well. So let me show you guys what we got underneath here. This way, in case you guys want to build one yourself, it's pretty easy to do, honestly. Alright, inside here I have a sealed acid battery, basically what you use on your home alarm in case of a power outage. So what that is 12 volts, charges fully at 14.7, and as all you guys know, that's plenty of voltage for an FPV system, including the TV. The TV is rated at 12 volts. That over there is my splitter, and another set of video wire for my FPV goggles. I'll go ahead and take those out right now. Okay, back over here is the connection for the receiver. These 3 poles down here, I'll explain what those are later. And that's basically it. So like I said, I have a 12-volt battery. It's connected all the way up to these 3 switches. I'll explain what these 3 switches do right now. This first switch over here is a master switch. Flip that on, it supplies power to the entire system. Okay, I'm going to pause for 1 second. Actually, you know what? I really don't even have to pause. These 3 poles, basically one goes in here like this. Okay, then the second pole, attaches onto there. The third pole attaches on to the top. I have Velcro. Okay. Now what I do is I will take off the receiver. That connects on the top over here. Then this is the power lead for the receiver, which would normally connect into this port here, but I'm not going to put the antenna on. I would then take this wire here, connect it into the AV out onto the receiver, run it down the mast, and connect it into the video in. Excuse me. At which point then I could power up the master. If this were obviously connected to the receiver, this would be the receiver power, followed up by the power for the LCD TV. These 2 bolts right here are for charging. That's the remote for the LCD TV. So basically what you have here then, when everything is said and done, after you take these wires, like I said, for all intents and purposes, let's pretend that everything's plugged in. You guys got to bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to show you how we do this. Imagine everything was connected. Up at the top, for all intents and purposes, that would be where your receiver is. I'll step back. As you guys can see, it's probably, I would say, 2 feet above the top of the toolbox. And this battery is probably going to last me, I would say, a good 4 or 5 hours without any sort of incident. Like I said, it's used for a battery backup for your alarm in your house. So it's definitely, I believe it's rated at 7 amp hours. I'm not really, or 7 milliamp hours. I'm not even sure. 7 amp hours. I'm not sure. It's probably 7, which I guess would make it a 12 volt, 7,000 milliamp pack, if my math is correct. You guys can comment if I'm wrong. But anyway, like I said, this whole setup cost me, with the battery, the TV, minus obviously the equipment from Hobby King, it was around 110 bucks, 120 bucks, whatever I said before. I'm not really 100% sure, but it was relatively cheap, cheaper than anything you can get online. Made it myself. Also, I forgot to show you guys this on the back over here. Just remove these 2 nuts quickly. Slides right off. Okay, we'll go ahead and spin the ground station around again. Those 2 nuts I just placed on top of here. I then take that other piece of medium density particle board that I bought, put it right over the top, and that makes the sunshade for when it's sunny out. I'm going to make more videos obviously once I start to use this thing, but again, relatively easy. Basically the only tools I needed was a drill, a jigsaw, some cardboard, a scissor. Bought all the hardware at Home Depot in the dollar plastic bag section, whatever they are there. This over here is another little piece of particle board that I made just basically to keep the wires nice and tight. Obviously I made a notch for the wires to come up, and it just keeps them nice. So everything is self-contained. Again, imagine everything was flying, and I had my goggles obviously off my splitter, which would connect right to here, and whoever was obviously my spotter, let's say they decided to actually visually watch the plane and they decided not to watch the TV, they could still flip the TV off, at which time I would still have power going out to the receiver. The only thing I have left to do is actually label that this is the master, obviously that this is the receiver, and obviously that this is the LCD TV. So with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys decide to make one for yourself. Any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. This is my first attempt at a field box. Originally this piece of particle board was supposed to be for the back over here, but as you can see it's way too small, and there's 2 holes. My wife noticed that. Thanks for that, Michelle. So like Bob Ross said, this may have been an accident, but in the end, there are no accidents. There's only happy mistakes. So worked out perfect as a sunshade. And literally take the 2 nuts rather, spin the entire box back around, take it, goes right back on the back, like so, like so, somehow, some way, there it goes back on the back of the box. Obviously these 2 nuts then will go back in place. For all intents and purposes, let's say those are on, okay. Take the top of the mast, take the receiver off, put it back down in its spot. Okay. Take the 1 Velcro tie, 2nd Velcro tie, remove the lead for the video. Take the power lead for the receiver, and this is actually kind of hard to do with one hand. Let's see if I can get the job done. Take the power lead for the receiver. That'll get all wound up nice and neat eventually in this area, but again with one hand it's kind of hard. This comes out. Okay. Take my wiring for my splitter. That goes in there. This right here is the wiring for the video in from the receiver, which is obviously on the top of the PVC mast. Okay, the PVC mast is again 3 pieces. There's the first piece, there's the second piece, the third piece comes out every time I take it out now. Oh, and the bottom of it also, I have a little bit of expandable foam. So every time I take the bottom of the mast out, since obviously it's hollow, I keep getting a little bit of foam coming out with it. Okay, I lift the top of the box up. First pipe goes in here. As you can see, there's the foam down there, and I took another piece of fiberboard, cut it out. You know, obviously notched it out to make sure that the cardboard box would fit. This way I have a nice tray to put everything on top of. Literally put all the 3 pipes in, put this back in, tuck it back into its little spot, take my circular polarized antenna, find its home, make sure the wiring is going to clear. Why does it feel like it not want to close? Okay, make sure it's closed, which it is now. Take my latch, close it. If my 2 nuts in the back were on, which they're not, they're obviously right there. But as you can see, guys, I can hold this thing with one hand. It's relatively light. That battery being in there, nothing shifts because it's in that cardboard box with the foam around it. Tell you what, it's homemade. I take pride in doing things myself. I think it's pretty nice. Like I said, I got the TV off Amazon. All the electronics are from Hobby King. Everything else is from Home Depot and Radio Shack. And it'll set you back about 120 bucks, 125 bucks. I know I probably said 3 different numbers in this 12-minute video. But either way, guys, any questions, comments, again, leave them in the section below. Appreciate you guys watching this. Take care. Happy flying. So long.